well, it's a cup quarter-final, which means, of course, that both those clubs have already won 2 matches to get this far. So let's take a look at how Celtic and Dundee United reached this afternoon's quarter-final.
Easter Road, Edinburgh was cup holders Celtic's first stop on the road to Hampden. A dream draw for their East of Scotland League opponents, Whitetail Welfare. Minnows they might have been, but with keeper Scott Cantley in great form, they almost caused a huge splash against the big fish. For 40 minutes, Rosewell's finest kept Tommy Byrne's title challengers at bay before Pierre van Hooijdonk restored the Celtic fans' sanity. A subsequent goal deluge failed to materialise, although the Whitetail defence was breached twice more in the second half, first by Simon Donnelly, and then again in the dying minutes by Van Hooijdonk for his second. Celtic's next opponents were Raith Rovers, then managerless after the departure of Jimmy Nicholl, but still a source of anguish for the Celtic-minded following that Coca-Cola Cup success. Some of the football on show from Celtic this time around, though, indicated that they've well and truly banished all of those bad memories. Andreas Thom giving this superb move the finish it deserved for the first of Celtic's goals. Simon Donnelly provided the second as Celtic coasted to an easier than expected passage to the quarter-finals with a nice little triple nutmeg through the Rovers' defence. A home tie today gives the cup holders, unbeaten domestically since the end of September, a strong chance of moving through to the semis. Standing in Celtic's way is a Dundee United side, here in white, keen to emulate the run of 2 years ago which saw them lift the cup for the first time in their history. This year's campaign got off to a less than auspicious start away to Berwick Rangers, thanks to Grant Johnson's own goal. United obviously didn't fancy an early exit at Shieldfield Park, and they managed to extricate themselves from an awkward position. A penalty kick gave Owen Coyle the chance to throw them level. And right on the stroke of half-time, Coyle it was again who put Berwick to bed and United into the next round, where they came face to face with fellow First Division promotion chasers Dunfermline Athletic. There's not been much to choose between them in the league so far this season, and this cup tie was no different, with 1 goal settling the outcome. That it should come from Craig Brewster was a timely reminder to United manager Billy Kirkwood of his value to the team. Kirkwood dropped him for the Berwick game due to some off-the-field indiscretions, but Brewster, whose goal won United the Cup in '94, came off the bench to see off Dunfermline, and, assuming he plays, will look for more of the same against Celtic this afternoon.
So the Celtic players leaving it to the very last moment to appear, and the expectations on these Celtic players so great now you wouldn't be surprised if there was a fair amount of tension around, even though the recent form has been outstanding. 2 4-0 wins in a row they've had here against Partick Thistle and Hearts, but this huge Celtic crowd waiting to give them a huge welcome. Brian Welsh also, very impressive central defender, who's been bedevilled by injury this season. He's back in beside Stephen Pressley. There'll be a formidable banner. Evans holding the ball, insisting they get a move on. So the ball boys there as Paul McStay threads his way through with today's mascot, little Liam Hanlon, a 9-year-old from Falkirk. Simon Donnelly and Brian McLaughlin there, and there's Thom, there's Tosh McKinlay. Well, you can tell the players have made the tunnel area, and here's Paul McStay leading out Celtic. Tremendous welcome for Celtic. It's been such an impressive season so far, and a sparkling form a week ago. Brian McLaughlin replacing John Collins against Hearts has kept him in the side, and keeping out men like Phil O'Donnell, Morton Decorst, John Collins unfit, we've had confirmation of that, and Paul McStay enjoying some marvellous form this season, skippering Celtic and looking for a second trophy in the Scottish Cup in 2 years. So the mascot there is Liam Hanlon from Falkirk. Obviously, his favourite player is Thom, by the look at that photograph. So the referee is a very experienced official, Andrew Waddle from Edinburgh. Very calm figure. He has a grade 1 referee in Bobby Orr from Kilbarchan in one line, Bill Lindsay from Glasgow on the other, Jerry Evans the fourth official. So the tense preliminaries coming to a conclusion. So we have Paul McStay with more than 70 caps for Scotland. Dave Bowman with just half a dozen, but he's played very well indeed in his national colours when called upon. Replacing the shorts here. So a relaxed chat between the two skippers there with referee Waddle. So the preliminaries almost over as the mascot leaves the field, escorted by Paul McStay. It will be Dundee United who will start the match. And the Celtic players prepare for their customary huddle here. This is the big morale boost, team morale lifted by this little cluster before the match. So Paul McStay once again a key figure in the heart of that Celtic side. So the Tennent's Scottish Cup quarter-final about to begin. The road to Hampden still beckoning for both these sides. The winners in the last 2 years, in fact. Celtic the holders, United the winners 1 year earlier. An offside decision instantly there against Gary McSwegan. There's Bill Lindsay, the linesman from Glasgow. And the deafening noise around some Celtic supporters as they build up from the back quietly again. McNamara gives Gordon Marshall an early touch of the ball. And instant confirmation that the Dundee United formation is as we expected as Hooijdonk breaks. That's for Thom. Pressley's quick enough. Protecting an undefeated record at Celtic Park, Stephen Pressley. He's played 3 times already here without losing. And there's Thom, the main support of his pace for Hooijdonk. McLaughlin wins that for McKinlay. This is Thom again. McKinlay faced by Perry, shown the outside route. Clear foul there by Perry. Well, the look of innocence, cutting the ice with referee Waddle. And now an opportunity for Celtic with Van Hooijdonk joined by John Hughes now for this free kick. Lighted in by McKinlay. Well won by Malpas. And the Winters got down there by O'Neill. Gary McSwegan protesting vigorously there to the referee about the nature of that offence by O'Neill and Winters. Van O'Neill certainly is impeding Winters on there, and I think the referee's probably right to give the foul to Celtic, but obviously Gary McSwegan's got things going his way, and it's rather silly to get your name taken for nothing. Well, the foul to Dundee United for Brian O'Neill's offence. Gary McSwegan has been booked. Brian O'Neill has gone unpunished. Maybe a shade fortunate there by the nature of the foul. So O'Neill made that challenge, realised he didn't have the pace there to match Winters breaking. So McNamara, Hughes, O'Neill and McKinlay across the back for Celtic. Winters playing wide on the right hand side of a 4-man midfield here for Dundee United. Here's Thom, closed down rapidly by Maurice Malpas. Coyle, wearing 7, playing wide on the left-hand side in midfield. Brewster, principal striker with McSwegan. Here's Bowman. Now McStay breaks, holds it up, waits for some movement, gets it from Thom. McKinlay has McStay again in that playmaking role in the centre of midfield, available again. Good judgment shown by Perry. Perry, Pressley, Welsh and Malpas across the back. The midfield battle between Dave Bowman against Peter Grant and Grant Johnson against Paul McStay. Hughes judged that well for Celtic. brisk and lively here. Grant takes over. This is McKinlay. Van Hooijdonk with a heading opportunity, and a complete miscue by the big Dutchman. It came off his shoulder. It's exciting open play by Celtic already, and it's a lovely cross into middle, and really Van Hooijdonk should be testing the goalkeeper with that, but misheader, but an indication of the threat that Celtic possess in those wide positions. Dear me, he'll be upset that he didn't hit the target with that one. Miscue by Malpas, straight to Pressley. Coyle in a hurry there, looking for McSwegan. That's good cover by Hughes. Thom. Good running by Donnelly, but he didn't see the pass coming. This is McNamara. McNamara again. Now Thom. Using his pace to make for the byline. Now McNamara once again. Donnelly back to McStay. Thom seeing a lot of the ball early on for Celtic. It's McLaughlin coming in tight from the left hand side. Only Tosh McKinlay on that far side. Here he is now. Reaches Donnelly. Van Hooijdonk. Grant to O'Neill. McLaughlin tackled by Perry from the back. McLaren, he went for the ball. I'm sure he did, but he did appear to catch Ryan McLaughlin's ankle. It's certainly a very positive challenge, but you know, I honestly think that he gets the ball and perhaps just a little bit unlucky to have conceded a foul. Here's Stephen Pressley. Really caught in two minds there. He's giving that straight to McNamara. Cross comes Welsh. Header by Hughes. Johnson supporting from midfield. Very energetic player in that area. Coyle. That's good play by Coyle. Winters to come out and attack Hughes. He's very quick indeed, Robbie Winters. And he's earned the corner kick off Tosh McKinlay. Well, Robbie Winters is a major threat to that Celtic defence. He is electrically quick on that far side. And all credit to them, they're prepared to stay in the wide position, obviously to frustrate the Celtic fullbacks, but certainly to give them impetus when they get the ball themselves. Brewster with a corner. Marshall's come for that, he's in trouble. Coyle hitting that behind, but a moment of alarm there for Gordon Marshall. He did miss a couple of cross balls early in the match last week against Hearts, then settled to a splendid match. You certainly won't enjoy looking at this one because he does comfort and misses it, and Owen Coyle perhaps taken a little bit by surprise, but nevertheless a chance. Yeah, that was by Welsh. McSwegan to Brewster. Winters again. Running straight into Grant. Very interesting team selection that by Billy Kirkwood. Billy with these two wide men, Winters and Coyle, not known for their defensive powers. Oh, that's right, but I think he's put them in that position so that he's hoping they're going to contain the pace and the forward runs of McNamara and McKinlay. But equally, when they get possession, it gives them that little bit width about the pitch, and equally it gives them the chance to exploit Winters' pace on that right hand side. The long ball from McNamara, the cover is provided by Pressley. Maxwell's clearance. O'Neill. Oh, very awkward one for McLaughlin to control, but he does so splendidly. Dave Bowman escorting him here, not diving into a tackle. So McLaughlin likes defenders to do dive at him. A good ball in. And Malpas had his bearings right there. Malpas appeared to be fouled by McNamara. And that's the decision given by the linesman. Getting some help there to referee Waddle, Bobby Orr. it's lovely skills by Brian McLaughlin, isn't it? Now, a lovely ball across the face of goal, but look at the experience of Malpas. He knows that he can't go and take a chance with that. And here he stands up to that and says, well, as soon as you show me the ball, I'm going to take it from you. Good defending. Now Mark Perry asking Winters to set up in a run. He's so quick. Chance on here, the support waiting in the middle. One of them is Brewster. Excellent goalkeeping. Well, Broken Marshall there when he was required. Celtic on the counter-attack though, with Van Hooijdonk. Grant. Donnelly has McLaughlin clear on the left. Very disappointing pass that by Donnelly. Cut off well by Perry. There's John Hughes. And McKinlay on the outside. Well, a very promising attack that from Dundee United. That'll give them a lot of encouragement. It'll also help the confidence of Gordon Marshall, the way he stood up to that. But here's Thom. That's good play by Pressley. Good defending by Stephen Pressley. Stood up calmly to the threat posed by Thom. But what a good move this was for United. It was a tremendous ball and just a little bit close to the goalkeeper. Brewster was onto that, had the goalkeeper not come and taken a bit. An indication that Winters' pace is tremendous and he can cause problems down that right hand side. Well, Robbie Winters was put into a wonderful position there with that pass from Perry. Quick feet shown there by McNamara. O'Neill trying to get that beyond Pressley for Thom. That's a poor header. Here's Van Hooijdonk. Donnelly into space for Thom. Good save by Maxwell. That was important for United. Superb running too by Andreas Thom. It's a good ball into that space and Thom takes it first time. He doesn't give the defender any chance to get a tackle in, but good goalkeeping because Alan Maxwell keeps himself well positioned, doesn't offer him an awful lot of the target and saves it comfortably. Well, early indications suggest that we're witnessing a very fine match here. And United showing no signs of inferiority coming from the first division to this match. It's a good run by Van Hooijdonk. They had McKinlay outside, used him as a decoy. Thom's pass. And a wonderful save again from Maxwell. That was Peter Grant. Tremendous goalkeeping. Brilliant move for Celtic because Peter Grant comes in from behind, comes in the blind side and only a tremendous save from Ali Maxwell kept that one out, didn't it? And Grant doing extremely well to support that attack from midfield for Celtic. Tosh McKinlay lining up an in-swinger with that cultured left foot. Right over the top it goes to Brian McLaughlin. And Welsh is happy to head that to safety. The pressure remains on the United defence. Well, Ali Maxwell now has pulled off two splendid saves inside a couple of minutes, and that'll do him the world of good. And his defence a lot of good also. Their confidence boosted. And once again there was space inside the area. Simon Donnelly's effort straight at Maxwell. They just lost themselves just a little bit defensively there. Because look at the space that Simon Donnelly's got there inside the 6-yard line, and really they've really got out of jail there because 1 yard pass he might have done something with that one. So Marshall now waving his teammates forward. He wants to go for some length here, looking for the front end. And Hooijdonk up with Welsh. Good play by Bowman and by Brewster. Here's Johnson. Determined play again by Grant Johnson. O'Neill's boot was high. He caught Grant Johnson. Free kick goes to United. Well, he really does get himself about that midfield, Johnson. A local boy from Broughty Ferry in Dundee. Bowman uses Malpas in the clear. Perry needs some support. He has Winters outside him. McLaughlin back marking Perry. Now McStay. Looking for Thom. It's cut off by Welsh. It's beyond O'Neill, and McSwegan is quick enough, but Marshall read that well for Celtic. McNamara's pass. Van Hooijdonk had come short for that. That's why he collected that pass. Grant to McStay. Thom. McLaughlin. That's for McNamara. It was simply superb football from Celtic. Well, it looked as though Jackie McNamara had something of a nosebleed there when he was putting the clear. Great football.
Again, it's a third man run. Lovely pass through the middle, and McNamara's onto it, but you know, put a defender in those positions, and so often they miss his chance. But look at the through ball and look at the timing of the run. It's perfect, beats the offside trap, and what a lovely position. But he's a defender, not a forward.
Scored just once since signing for Celtic from Dunfermline in October. McNamara, played 21 matches. This is game number 22 for him. Reputation growing all the time. Brewster, Johnson, over to the far side. Perry wants Winters to make a run ahead. Very important challenge made there by Brian McLaughlin. Well, he is showing a good dimension to his play here.
He's been asked to work back. Obviously, the way that United have set themselves up, he's got responsibility to go back there and help, and he's done it so willingly and so well.
There's O'Neill. A long chase here for Donnelly, but Malpas has things under control for United. That's McKinlay's header. Now Thom. McLaughlin seeing a lot of the ball for Celtic in the match, and tucking inside a lot when Celtic have possession to become involved in all sorts of intricate moves. Awkward landing for Bowman. There was no offence. Here's McLaughlin. Twisting and turning the defence. That's it for Van Hooijdonk. Once again, it's Maxwell to the rescue. Well, Van Hooijdonk showing his two-footedness there.
Brian McLaughlin's revelling in this game today, and he sets up Van Hooijdonk well there. Not his favoured side, but tremendous strike nevertheless, but good positioning once again by Ali Maxwell.
Ali Maxwell, the 1991 Cup final hero for Motherwell against Dundee United, funny enough, is proving himself to be a real hero for United this afternoon. Great performance so far, and a foul against Brewster. These Celtic players so comfortable in possession, playing with sharpness, pace, invention. Here's McLaughlin again. The buzz around the stadium when he takes possession. Donnelly, McLaughlin once more. And it comes to Peter Grant. Telling McNamara where he wants him to run, then sends the pass to feet. That's good defending by Owen Coyle. Not known for that aspect of his game either, Coyle. Malpas, a major influence in this United side, the assistant manager. Headed by McSwegan, catches Coyle off balance, and McLaughlin's in possession again. Patience, always a virtue in this Celtic side. A careless one by O'Neill. McLaughlin always wants the ball played to feet rather than into spaces like that. O'Neill settling back in. It's his fourth start since that long injury spell. Handball there by Johnson. Well, it certainly wasn't a free kick there, and the discretion given to the referee pushed to the full by Peter Grant there has to be taken again.
There's certainly a big responsibility in that central midfield area, because McStay has really got control of it, and with the elusiveness and the quickness of the Celtic forward, always difficult not to lose control there.
That's good defending again by Mark Perry this time. But this United defence is now being pulled all over the place.
They are, and Celtic switched the point of their attack so well, and they're getting room down either side at the minute, and they're sending some good balls there. That was a good ball in the middle, but good defending. Don't take a chance, put it out for a corner.
So McLaughlin in the near post, Donnelly in the far post, and Hooijdonk and Hughes waiting to make runs from the edge of the area. Brewster back defending. McKinlay again. Well closed down by Brewster. It's good work again by Craig Brewster. McLaughlin makes space to receive the ball. Quite happy to go back as long as possession's retained. This is McNamara. United are pushed out in a line. Had to go back now towards the edge of the area. Celtic equally comfortable on either flank. McKinlay has McLaughlin on the touchline. Comes inside Johnson. Tried to line up Van Hooijdonk. Good reading of the play by Malpas. Now just watch Winters go here. McStay spots the danger. Clear foul by McStay. Well, they are concerned about Winters, there's no question about that. His reputation has gone before him. 21-year-old.
He's certainly a pacey young man, and he's prepared to go at people with the ball. Here you see him go at Paul McStay, and Paul really just says, well, I'm not going to catch you, I might as well stop you.
Here's Johnson. Bit ambitious, that long-range effort. Looking to add to the 5 goals he's scored this season in United's promotion push. So Gordon Marshall now having a spectator's role in the game. 20 minutes gone. Celtic dominant, but United defending valiantly with an inspired goalkeeper in Ali Maxwell. Brewster towards McSwegan. That's back to Brewster. McNamara covering splendidly there from right back. So the throw will be left to Maurice Malpas. Brewster waits in the penalty box, hoping for the ball to be crossed in there. There's Coyle losing out to Donnelly. Body check there by Malpas. Well, Donnelly looks very frail indeed, but he has a lot more strength than it appears. Holding challenges with some determination.
But it's interesting to see that both teams are the wide players have got to work back in this system, and it's making for a good entertaining game. Obviously with Celtic having the dominance, but with the knowledge that United might well just hit them on the break.
Pressley to Johnson. Here's Brewster. Perry always willing to support from right back. Reacting to a call there from Pressley. McSwegan trying to inconvenience Hughes. Bowman keeps it in. Under pressure there by McLaughlin, but he reacted very well indeed, Bowman. Great pass once more from Perry. Here's Winters trying to go it alone here. Eased off the ball by John Hughes. The United supporters looking for a penalty there. There's some great inventive play by Robbie Winters.
It starts with a real quality pass from Perry, but you see Winters getting into that box, and well, I've seen penalties given for less.
Yes, that could have easily gone United's way. Might have been one of the very soft variety, but technically could have been given, I think. Here's McLaughlin. It's found space again. Van Hooijdonk makes a run ahead. Donnelly goes inside. Here's Van Hooijdonk. That's for Donnelly. Once again, Mark Perry's positional play is good. Donnelly made an excellent diagonal run to get on the end of that.
They do this so well, Celtic. You know, the central players just drift off a little bit, get themselves into a nice position and put those good balls into the middle.
McKinlay with the outswing at this time. Once again, Brewster makes the clearance. Here's McNamara. Handball by Johnson. The engine room on the side for Dundee United. Johnson with Dave Bowman. Now Paul McStay. Batting against McSwegan. And all these United players committing themselves to the task. The front men battling back diligently. The wide men also backtracking whenever they require to. Realising, I think, the defence is going to be at full stretch against this Celtic attack with such imagination and flair. Marshall having to hurry in the end. Plenty of time now for O'Neill. And Hooijdonk comes short. McNamara. Van Hooijdonk's dummy. Here's Donnelly. Now McNamara with a chance. And another great block by Maxwell. Donnelly's ball into McLaughlin. Well, hitting United from all directions here. Ali Maxwell, though, equal to every task so far.
Again, it's a lovely intricate move and good strike from McNamara, but once again Ali Maxwell's possession is A1.
The counter-attack from United with Winters on the right, supported by Bowman. This is Perry. Bowman asked to hurry. In goes McStay. And Pressley calms things down, gets it back to Maxwell. Brewster. Losing out to a combination of McStay and O'Neill. Pass hit much too firmly by Paul McStay. But certainly McStay has, well, the resurgence of Celtic as a team. Billy Kirkwood on the track there, trying to organise and make sure that he's got his positioning right. Donnelly. And Hooijdonk. Policed by Pressley. It's good defending. Standing up well. Closing down his man. Stealing possession when the opportunity arose. Now McNamara. Stay again. O'Neill always willing to come from the back. So comfortable in possession. McKinlay to Van Hooijdonk. Robbie Winters doing that defensive chore very well indeed. In goes McNamara. O'Neill's given that straight to Bowman. Well, he was in a big hurry there, Bowman. He had much more time than he realised, I think. McStay assessing the options. Plays it short for McLaughlin. He'll always take the ball in a tight situation. Peter Grant made a good angle to receive the ball. That pass goes astray. Now Coyle. Johnson. Malpas. Brewster. Great turn there. Now for McSwegan. Closed down by Celtic defenders. That's for Brewster. He's onside. He goes down there. It's a penalty kick. And Gordon Marshall will be in serious trouble here, I suspect. Brewster sidestepped him, and Gordon Marshall will now be lucky not to see some kind of card. The penalty kick's been given.
Beautiful pass inside the full-back there, and Gordon Marshall clearly brings him down, and I think he's got a serious problem in his hands. But it looked, he waited the pass beautifully. Brewster's onto it. The certainty to score, and down he comes.
Well, now the referee taking out no card. It's a penalty kick to Dundee United, which Owen Coyle is preparing to take. He's already scored from the spot for United this season. Gardner Marshall, I think, very fortunate indeed, but he's still in that goal to face this penalty. A chance for United. He scored the second time. Owen Coyle. United are in front. He missed the penalty, but with help from McSwegan, he scored with a rebound. Marshall can't believe that. Why was there no cover for him, he's asking. It's not a well taken penalty, and Don Marshall does well to get it, but McSwegan reacts very quickly, and Owen Coyle gets the break of the ball, and United are in front, and we've got a real game on our hands now. But never going to test the goalkeeper with the penalty, and Don Marshall well up to that, but nice sharp retort from Owen Coyle when the chance came to him for the second time.
Unlucky just to be onside at the time, because when it was played forward by McSwegan, Celtic enough defenders back to keep Coyle in an onside position, very narrowly indeed. Well, what a turnaround. Celtic, who've dominated, go a goal behind, and that remarkable run of never losing a goal here for so long. The last one scored by Miksu Patalainen in the cup 4 years ago. Celtic won that day by 2-1. They'll be hoping to do something similar. But here's Winters. He's carried the ball over.
You know, Celtic had that early control, Jock, but you always had that feeling that the pace that United have got up front, they could punish them if they were careless. And what a magnificent pass, and a lovely move that opened up the penalty kick incident for them. But you know, Celtic have played so well, and it's really down to Ali Maxwell, who's had some great saves and good stops, and that lot of pace that United possess up front.
Well, incredible drama. The opening goal coming in 29 minutes. United lead by 1-0. Owen Coyle getting his 7th goal in United's colours. Here's Simon Donnelly. Now McNamara. Bowman challenged there by McStay. In goes Coyle. He wanted the throw, but he's not going to get that. So lots of noise around the stadium here. The Celtic supporters realising the team has been playing very well indeed, without any fortune so far. Now here's the problem again for Celtic. This man Winters. McLaughlin goes back to be the first line of defence. That's for Perry. He's no slouch either. McKinlay at full stretch there. Confidence surging through the United ranks.
They've certainly got pace down that right hand side, and really I think the way the game is going just now, Celtic are going to have to push forward. Winters obviously always going to be a threat with that pace.
There's Winters again, turned away by Grant. McSwegan took a blow in the face there from Hughes. He dipped his head. McLaughlin now, outpacing Perry. He's very, very quick with the ball at his feet, McLaughlin. Now McStay. McNamara's made a run on the right. That's who McStay was looking for. That was handball, was it not? No. The referee looked towards the linesman with some help there. McNamara complaining bitterly. There was a hand used by Malpas, and I think he has some justification for that view. New space for McKinlay. Now McNamara. Headed away was by Perry again. He's having a good match in defence for Dundee United. 25 years old. 8 years he's been at Dundee United. Tommy Burns looks on. Very concerned, no doubt now, with the way this game is running. So there's McKinlay, the outswinger, headed away again by Perry inside the area. Here's McStay. Now Thom. Shooting chance here for Grant.
And once again, a marvellous stop by Maxwell. Now he must have seen that late coming through a forest of defenders.
It's a nice strike by Peter Grant, you know, and it's through a packed 18-yard line there, and Ali Maxwell looks so sharp and so confident that once again he's taking the danger away from his team.
There's Brewster trying the long-range snapshot. He's got a lot of dig in that left foot, all right. But a goal kick it is to Celtic. Brewster involved in the penalty incident.
You know, the way the game is developing, I would imagine Billy Kirkwood would want Robbie Winters to stay as far up the pitch as he wants, so that any ball that gets knocked in behind, that pace of his is going to really terrify Celtic at the back.
I think that instruction, in fact, has been coming from the dugout below us to Winters to push forward. Keep the pressure on the Celtic defence on the left-hand side. Well, Ali Maxwell is really having a day out. He's kept that in play. The referee checked carefully with the linesman. Well, a controversial incident though, as far as Gordon Marshall is concerned. The referee deciding the penalty was enough punishment there, but I wonder if a yellow or card, or even worse, might have been contemplated.
Well, my understanding of it is if you're the last defender and you commit that foul, then you prevent someone from scoring who's in that scoring position. So I think he's been very lucky.
There's Winter again showing his pace to cross, not up to the quality of the rest of the work there. Now Simon Donnelly. McNamara pulling it back. United beginning to play like men possessed now. That goal has given them such an incredible lift. McSwegan's pass has space on the left for Coyle. And a wasted opportunity there with the ball across the face of goal.
But they have coped well, United. I mean, obviously they've been under the caution. They've got the goalkeeper Ali Maxwell to thank them for keeping them blank at the back. But they're enjoying the game and they're making a contribution to it, and they've created problems on occasions for Celtic. And they're one in front, which makes it that bit life a little bit difficult for Celtic at the moment.
That's Perry close in on Brian McLaughlin. Well, United clearly believed that Celtic could be put under pressure on the flanks defensively. It's clear by their team selection here. McNamara there, and McKinlay so effective in attack, but being tested now defensively. That's Coyle's pass. Here's McSwegan into Brewster. What a splendid chance that was again for Dundee United. McNamara certainly caused them a problem there in the act of shooting.
Again, it's a good move, and they've opened up Celtic at the back, but it's only McNamara's pace that gets him back, and he puts Brewster under threat. Just a little lean on him, a little bit of body contact, but doing his job defensively.
Well, Brewster thought he was fouled there. He wanted a penalty kick. I don't suppose the referee was too late to give another one so quickly. But he's a big threat to Celtic. Goes Welsh. Now McSwegan's in behind O'Neill. It's the pace that makes such a difference. McSwegan so quick. Winters even quicker perhaps. The cross looking for Brewster. It's well won inside the area by McNamara. The loose balls now falling to United players suddenly. There's Malpas. That's a careless one. And Malpas, I think, quite deliberately going there to foul McStay and give himself time to recover. The old head paying off there.
It certainly was the old head, and you know, he just edged into him. They said, well, I can't afford, I haven't got the legs to run all that way back anymore, so we'll stop the game here.
Made sure the foul wasn't too blatant. McStay now to McNamara. Donnelly is on the right touchline, wants the ball. Cross it comes to Paul McStay. Here's McLaughlin. Now Donnelly. McNamara's free on the right. McLaughlin will see him here. McNamara trying to get past Malpas on the outside. Winters doing that defensive chore again. That's an effective clearance. Well, they are very impressive first half, Robbie Winters, for Dundee United. The Celtic supporters now showing a little bit of a sign of impatience here.
Bit of frustration creeping in for Celtic. From the United point of view, they'll be desperate to hanging on to half-time in front. Here's Thom. Van Hooijdonk. Thom again. The same as McLaughlin. Hit Morris Malpas. Couldn't have been intentional handball. Celtic still come forward. Tosh McKinlay. That's against Mark Perry. Well, the Celtic supporters very upset indeed. 2 balls driven against United defenders, striking them on the arm. And no foul given either time. One would have been a penalty. Kenley's cross. There's Van Hooijdonk. Suddenly United were exposed. Determined play there again by Owen Coyle.
It's a delightful cross, but you know, when you Tosh McKinley's hit the first defender there, really Celtic are claiming for a penalty, but I honestly don't think there's intent, and I think it's just a misplaced appeal.
Simon Donnelly has McStay there. Now Donnelly again. It's asking a lot of McLaughlin. Pressley, the covering player. Here's Tosh McKinlay. McStay again making himself available right in the centre of the field. There's Donnelly, who's drifted inside. Possession retained beautifully there by Donnelly. Allows Grant to take over. Take the ball to the left where he has McLaughlin and McKinlay. McKinlay against Winters, a stumble by Winters. Great chance here for Celtic. This is McKinlay. And very secure handling again by Maxwell. Not the best of crosses. Could have come back to the byline, but good goalkeeping nevertheless.
Tosh McKinlay gets himself into a great position on the byline here, but he takes the wrong option and puts it too near the goalkeeper. And this is a goalkeeper who's inspired at the minute.
So we're inside the closing 5 minutes of an incredible first half. Dundee United leading by 1-0. They're trying desperately to hang on to that lead to half-time. Surely a crucial phase of the match, this, Billy.
It certainly is. You know, they've defended very well at times, and they've made Celtic's job that little bit difficult by forcing them across the pitch. And the goalkeeper has been inspired, but they need to live with it for this couple of minutes.
McSwegan trying to make a shooting chance for himself. There's Jackie McNamara. Now it's with Donnelly. Inside is Paul McStay. Thom. On the far side is McLaughlin. This is promising again for Celtic. Van Hooijdonk waits in the penalty spot. Donnelly getting up very well to that. And a touch on by Pressley away from Van Hooijdonk. United will be asking how Simon Donnelly though can get headers inside that penalty box. Here's Tosh McKinlay. Splendid effort by McKinlay. Hasn't scored all season, Tosh McKinlay, but that would be as close as he's come this whole season.
It's a tremendous shot. It's one way to beat a retreating defence, is have a good strike from that area. But you know, Celtic have put so much into this game, and it's really amazing to think that they're one behind at this stage.
Here's McNamara. Difficult area of the pitch he's playing on. There's full of sand in that particular part of the ground. Morris Malpas with the throw. Back it goes from Paul McStay. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Celtic 0, Dundee United 1. Scorer was Owen Coyle. And no stoppages either in this first half. No sign of any trainer, which is all good news. The match has been played in very good spirit, in fact. Very competitive, but it's a clean game. Here's Brewster. Misunderstanding there with Johnson. McKinlay comes forward again. That's towards Van Hooijdonk. Back it comes to Donnelly. And then Paul McStay. McNamara being shown inside. It's picked out Thom. Shooting chance on. Wanted too long on the ball to set himself. Back with McKinlay. Still has McLaughlin outside him. Goes for the cross though, and that's a wasted effort. Behind it goes. Referee Waddle is coming across to intervene. There's been a little bit of discussion between Coyle and McNamara. That's what the referee was there to stifle. Good refereeing that, Andrew Waddle, just having a quiet word with both players. Well, a script, Billy, I think, which would be very hard to write for this match.
Yes, I would agree with that one. But certainly, you know, Celtic have played so well in the game. It's not as if they're off form. They really have played well. But all credit to United. They've tried to soak as much of the pressure off as they can and hit them on the break, and they've done that. But the one thing that has really made this possible for them has been the display of Ali Maxwell. He's been magnificent in goal. He's had some excellent saves, but more importantly, he's stood up to things, and he's looked so assured and confident, and I think that confidence has gradually spread through the rest of his team.
So we're in the final minute of the first half. United enjoying some possession again. Here's Perry, who's played very well indeed. So too has Winters in possession now. And back it comes now to Grant Johnson. Trying to get that beyond O'Neill. In goes McSwegan. O'Neill had to hurry the clearance in the end. So a throw to Dundee United. They'll be very happy indeed to be in this area of the pitch so late in the first half with that 1-goal lead. So precious at this stage. Bowman back towards Johnson. That's overhit though now. Celtic sending men forward from the midfield. Andre's Thom checking inside. That's towards Donnelly. He was threatened there by Maurice Malpas while the ball was still in the air. His close attendance put him off. Brewster sends it long. That's Hughes in the way, and the half-time whistle goes with Dundee United remarkably in the lead. The goal scored in 29 minutes by Owen Coyle. His penalty kick came back off Ali Maxwell. McSwegan set him up for the rebound, and then it was down to Ali Maxwell and Dundee United goal to keep them in this match. Celtic could easily have been about 4 ahead, but for Ali Maxwell in the early stage of the match. But now we have an incredible quarter-final still to come in this second half. These Dundee United supporters overjoyed by the performance of their favourites. At half-time, it's Celtic 0, Dundee United 1. Thank you, Dougie. That's the welcome here comes from the Celtic supporters for their team United on the pitch already. The two men involved in that goal together, and no sign of any change in the lineups. So the setting is marvellous, and the football in the first half was also fascinating right from the start. Now, the only time Dundee United have beaten Celtic in the Scottish Cup was in the 1981 semi-final replay when they won by 3-2 before losing to Rangers in the replay in the final. That's the only win they've had in their history against Celtic in the Cup, and they're on target now for a second win. So the preparations are over for the start of this vital 45-minute period. Lieutenant Scottish Cup quarter-final, 45 minutes to go. Celtic a goal down to Dundee United, and not surprising, I would say, on both sides. In fact, really, there was no change at half-time personnel-wise.
No, that's right. I think that Celtic played so well in that first half, and the only thing I think Tommy will be maybe underlined to them is they've got to start looking for things inside the 18-yard line. Maybe just be a little bit more responsive, a little bit more sharp inside that area. That's perhaps the only thing I can ask of them. And United, they've really enjoyed the occasion, and obviously they've got themselves in front.
Good use of the shoulder there by Thom, and the chest by Donnelly, but Owen Coyle back to do some defensive work, and here's McSwegan. He's kept it in. What's happened here? The offside flag was up early on. That's why everyone had stopped there except McSwegan. A very lively striker. Went from Rangers to Notts County before coming to Dundee United. Scored a barrel of goals in the Rangers reserves without making a breakthrough. Here's Tosh McKinlay. Now McLaughlin, who was so impressive in the opening phase of the match. Grant showing good movement too in midfield. This is McNamara. United's task, I'm sure, in the opening 10 to 15 minutes will be to contain Celtic, give nothing away, frustrate them, and then look to hit them on the counter. Here's O'Neill. McKinlay taking on Winters, but Winters is quick enough to recover. He was guilty of obstruction though. But one thing's for sure, McKinlay was never going to run away from Winters. The young man's inexperienced though, conceding that free kick.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it was a foul in that. I think that often players are penalised simply because they turn quickly and they're that bit sharper. He's entitled to go and battle for it there. And I really don't think there's an awful lot in that.
But the free kick's been given. The shin pad retrieved by Winters, and another good header by Mark Perry inside the 6-yard box. Here's McKinlay, could control the shot. Frustration in the face of Tosh McKinlay. Well, the very important phase again in the match. Just as the closing 5 or 10 minutes of the first half was vital to United, so too the next 5 or 10. If they can hold on to this precious lead in that period, they will really begin to believe that a shock could happen.
I think United will continue to try and soak up as much pressure as they can, with the hope that they'll always catch Celtic just a little bit slack at the back. And as I say, the pace of Winter up front is really punishing at times, and he's always a desperate threat.
Coyle looking at McSwegan, he's very quick indeed also. John Hughes recovers quickly for Celtic. That's Malpas. Tackled strongly there by McNamara. It's a free kick for that challenge on Owen Coyle. McNamara looks impassive there as the free kick is given. Coyle is back on his feet, and they may well have a bruise later on that one. So now Brewster, the target inside the penalty area. Brian Welsh is making his way forward, and he's invited Malpas to wait until he's in the penalty box. Welsh is coming for that, met by Hughes. That's Bowman. McSwegan. Plenty of cover there for Celtic. McNamara. Careless one, won easily by Welsh. Malpas looking for Brewster, he's onside. Here's Craig Brewster on the angle. Asking too much of him there. Marshall's positioning was excellent, but another moment of anxiety for Celtic defensively. Their back four breached by one simple pass, and no question about it, Brewster was onside. Here's Simon Donnelly. McStay has Grant inside. Grant helping it on for McLaughlin. McKinlay goes on the outside. And that's terrific play again by Mark Perry. Well, he's in a very tough task, Perry, but are you impressed, Billy?
Yeah, individually they have performed well at the back. I think he's had a particularly good game. Down that right-hand side with Mark Perry and Winters, they look so good and they look so promising, and certainly defensively you can't really call them into question too often.
Good challenge that, Hughes and Brewster together. Donnelly controlling it well for McNamara. In goes Pressley. The break of the ball falls kindly for Andreas Thom. Here's McStay. He knew that McNamara was advancing on the outside. Perry's header. Grant running into Bowman. And now Winters. Held up well by McKinlay. Good defending there by Tosh McKinlay. He was held there by Brewster. It's a free kick to Celtic. Well, you can see the urgency in the Celtic ranks. Tosh McKinlay having a bit of an argument there with Dave Bowman. Simon Donnelly. Cross from McStay to Grant. The United marking is very tight indeed. Thom has had to drop deep to take possession. Here's Grant. Donnelly wants it played short. Holding off Morris Malpas very well indeed. That's good play by Donnelly. And by Grant. Now McStay. Closed down by Perry. Good support play again from midfield by McStay to take McKinlay's pass. McKinlay did well. Thom coming to near post. Hustled all the way by Stephen Pressley though. So Pressley coping very well, playing very calmly and sensibly in the central defensive position.
But once again, United have successfully pushed Celtic into wide areas, and they're attacking those balls when they come into the middle. Certainly it was good defensive play of Pressley, because they forced Andreas Thom to be outside the post, and there's not an awful lot you can do from there.
Celtic in possession again with a throw. Well, United coping with this very important phase in the match very impressively indeed. Just the odd sign that Celtic are going a little bit flat. The crowd's certainly now becoming much more tense. Here's Brewster, away from O'Neill. And running straight into Paul McStay. That was good defending by McStay, an excellent recovery he made. Perry winning that from Thom. Brewster fouled from the back by Grant. Grant wants to debate with referee Waddle. Will avail him very little indeed, I think. Craig Brewster there found that space. The strength won the ball initially, and he really does have a terrific dig in both feet coming forward. United in no great hurry. Malpas towards Brewster. Here's McSwegan. Brewster wants it back, and O'Neill was in the way. What you would call charitably a forwards tackle. Free kick to Celtic. So they did Brian O'Neill no good at all.
Well, there's one or two little indications that Celtic are getting a bit careless at the back. That's the challenge by McSwegan, but they're really going for everything at the minute, United. But Celtic just look a little bit careless. Maybe the anxiousness is getting to them, then maybe the effect of the terrors and sounds are getting to them.
Here's Winters now breaking in from the right flank. That's good defending. McKinlay and O'Neill. Well, he really does worry that Celtic defence when he gets into his stride, Robbie Winters. And Hooijdonk's had a very quiet match for Celtic, losing out that time to Perry. Van Hooijdonk inconveniencing Pressley there. Here's McLaughlin. Now space for Van Hooijdonk. Nowhere to go there. Careless one from defence. Celtic keep the pressure on with a throw. McNamara. That's good play on the flank by McNamara. McLaughlin and Van Hooijdonk together. Van Hooijdonk screens it well. Looks for Donnelly. In steps Malpas. Brewster now looking for McSwegan. Covering player is O'Neill. Minutes of the second half gone. Still 1-0 to Dundee United. Here's McLaughlin. McStay. Thom has dropped off the left flank for the moment. Dangerous effort. It was deflected. It's a corner kick to Celtic. Well, Maxwell flying across there to cover his near post. I think he had that covered.
Well, this is something I feel Andreas Thom should do a little bit more of. You know, he's got a tremendous shot, and he should hit one or two from outside that area.
O'Neill almost got to that. There's Thom. Came off Brian Welsh. Another corner kick. Well, that packed penalty box. Celtic battling desperately for an opening goal.
Oh, Brian O'Neill, I think it was. He's only inches away from putting that one in the net, but you know, United are living a bit dangerously at the minute.
There's Thom now with the corner kick. Good header by McStay. Here's Thom again. Giving it away. Owen Coyle working the ball clear. Strong play by Donnelly and a very good turn. That's for Thom. Well, some very good work done by Simon Donnelly initially there to attempt to release Andreas Thom.
He does so well, Simon Donnelly. He fights for the ball, gets himself in a good position, just overhits the pass a little bit. But one of the problems Dundee United have got at the minute is they just can't get that ball under control when they get it out of defence, and it's coming back at them too quickly. And you know, the further they get back, the more efforts that they're going to afford to give to Celtic.
Battle between McNamara and McSwegan. O'Neill. Now Thom. Well, the stadium is much quieter now. The Celtic supporters realise that United have presented a huge threat to their team's ambitions. Bowman's pass, there goes Winters. That's a delightful pass from Bowman. Now Winters against McKinlay. He's out in the corner. Well, McKinlay's been stretched to the full this afternoon by Robbie Winters.
He did so well there, Robbie Winters, because he held his position, demanded that the pass was going to get knocked into that space behind, and you know, that pace of his, tremendous.
So another chance here for Dundee United. Ryan Welsh is in the penalty box. Brewster takes these corners and has very good left foot. And a very good chance for McSwegan. Now that was a golden opportunity which could really have won the tie for Dundee United.
It's criminal defending though. Look at McSwegan's right in the heart of that area there, and he's uncontested, and really Hughes should be thinking about hitting the target from there, but look, no defenders anywhere near him. The goalkeeper in no man's land.
What a great corner it was from Brewster. Another reminder to Celtic, trailing by 1-0, finding it very difficult indeed to make any headway against this determined United lineup. The last time Celtic lost a domestic match was on the 30th of September when they lost to Rangers. Now facing shock defeat here. They cannot turn this around. Hughes in behind McSwegan, a clear foul there, his arm was up. So United taking the time about all this. They've coped with the opening quarter of an hour of the second half and they've given nothing away. Malpas looking there for Brewster, who's just offside. Well, Brewster working very hard indeed up front for Dundee United. Bobby Orr on the line from Kilbarchan. McStay. Closed down by Johnson. That's reached Thom, well, not showed up with intention. Cross goes Brian Welsh, and that's a very good piece of defending by Welsh. Well, the team principally, I think, to cope with the aerial power of Van Hooijdonk, but he was quick enough to get across there, and Andreas Thom has become much more involved in the play, Thom, since he's dropped off the front to become involved in the build-up. McKinlay's corner. Bit of pushing inside the area picked up by the referee. No, it was the linesman's flag indicating the ball is swerved out from McKinlay's corner. Phil Lindsay there, flagging for the goal kick. McKinlay gets a lot of swerve in these corner kicks. Too much that time.
You know, Celtic have got to keep the game alive because United are content, you know, break up the game with the odd infringement, try to slow the game down as much as they can, and the crowd are starting to just get a little bit anxious about it, and that'll transmit itself to the Celtic players.
McKinlay did well. Here's Grant. McLaughlin's had a quiet second half after the fireworks he produced in the first half hour of the match. This is McStay. Now McNamara. Malpas ensures no further progress for McNamara. McStay. Looking with Van Hooijdonk. Oh, he would have preferred that with his right foot, I'm sure, Paul McStay, after that stunning goal he scored last week against Hearts. Taken down well by Grant for McLaughlin. Space to advance. Welsh comes to meet him. Waves his teammates forward to Brian Welsh. He thinks they're defending too deep. That may be the case. This is McKinlay. Target is Van Hooijdonk. Here's McLaughlin. Trying a delicate ball back to Van Hooijdonk. Lots of imagination about Brian McLaughlin, as usual. Didn't quite come off. Winters did well in the air. Well, has the match reached a stage, Billy, when Tommy Burns in particular may be thinking about making a change? He has Phil O'Donnell on the bench.
Well, at the minute, as it stands, he's got to get a goal, hasn't he? But Phil O'Donnell's the only likely one on that bench, and you would obviously have to have him break from midfield, and it's interesting to see what he would do. But certainly at the minute, the game is starting to die a little bit, and that suits United.
Yes, it's going Dundee United's way. The pace of the game has dropped a bit, and the crowd has gone quiet. Set the tension in the air suddenly. So Dundee United getting very quickly to the point of every challenge. The difference the lead makes is amazing. There's Thom leaving that now to McSwegan to go blow in the face. Winters. Eased out of that by Hughes. The throw goes to Celtic. Well, the problem, of course, for Celtic is that if they push forward too recklessly, United could hit them on the break. They have the players to do just that. There's Winters. That's for McSwegan. Taking on Hughes. That's a chance now for Brian O'Neill to lead the charge on the counter-attack here with Donnelly. O'Neill has gone forward, trying to play that first time towards Van Hooijdonk. Malpas is there. Now Van Hooijdonk's involved. But the two principal Celtic strikers now having to drop wide and deep to become involved. That will not suit Tommy Burns, I don't think, the Celtic manager. Still 1-0 to Dundee United. Grant looking for McKinlay. The header back was by Winters. So there's activity on the Dundee United bench. We're expecting something perhaps from Celtic, but Dundee United are going to make a change, and it looks to be a very interesting one indeed. Andy McLaren is preparing to come on, another wide player. I can't imagine Winters is being withdrawn, and the evidence of his performance so far. Maybe Owen Coyle's under threat, the goal scorer. Good play by Malpas. He has McSwegan in the clear. Here's McSwegan. Now Brewster. Initially stopped. Lost some momentum there. McSwegan back to Johnson. Good goalkeeping by Marshall. Well, that all appeared to happen in slow motion. Celtic defence caught out without question.
Well, this is a ball to the back post, and the Celtic defence looked to accept that that's gone out. And you know, Johnson's in a position where he might threaten the goalkeeper there, but fortunate for Celtic, Brian O'Neill was there to stop the danger.
Still nothing going right now for Celtic in attack, but here's Andreas Thom, a chance for Celtic. And Dundee United survive. Maxwell did well again, forcing Thom wide. McSwegan is offside. No progress there for United, but a great chance there for Celtic. Andreas Thom pushed wide by Maxwell. That was good goalkeeping too.
Well, it was a real chance because he got a clear run in the goals, and you know, Ali Maxwell looks a little bit dangerous there, but does the job well.
Tackle by Johnson on McStay. Andreas Thom has seen a lot of the ball in the second half, but still no luck in front of goal. Here's Thom again. Back with McNamara. Hooijdonk towards Grant. O'Neill. That's for McLaughlin. The covering player though is Stephen Pressley. Well, these passes now going astray for Celtic. That smooth, sharp machine of the opening 25 minutes no longer in evidence, Billy.
It's not, and the very fact that Van Hooijdonk and Andreas Thom are coming back deep into midfield to pick up the ball, that's not really helping, because really they need to hold their positions and be prepared to run in behind defenders, because you've got McStay, you've got Grant, you've got Brian McLaughlin that can pick up the ball and go and perhaps provide opportunity for them. And the last thing that Tommy Burns wants to see is his front players come back in becoming midfield players. That will suit United, because that's exactly where United want them.
Well, you can sense the change in the reaction of the crowd in this second half. We're approaching the three-quarter point of the match. United still leading by Owen Coyle's goal in the first half. Here's Thom. Changes direction now. He has McStay inside. Now Thom. Very patient, very careful, very precise. No cutting edge at the moment. That's what Celtic badly want. Well, that pass inside Robbie Winters is never going to put McKinlay in position. Winters much quicker than McKinlay, much quicker than everyone else in the pitch virtually.
He certainly is, but the important thing is, you know, if Celtic delay the pass forward, that forward pass, United are just putting more men on goal side, and they're making it very difficult for Celtic to get through the middle, and they're affording them the opportunity to go down either side, but it's difficult for Celtic now. They're starting to lose belief, I think.
Good flick on there by Brewster. Almost through there. Good tackle by Hughes. Grant plays it wide. Coyle doing a good marking job there in Donnelly. This is McNamara. The ball overshoots Pierre Van Hooijdonk. Now Pierre Van Hooijdonk really has been controlled as effectively by Brian Welsh as anyone I've seen this season. Taylor made for the big fella to score for Celtic, because he really hasn't got a touch, has he?
He's not looked sharp at all in the game, and he's found it very difficult to get himself involved in it. But all credit to United, you know, they've settled in, they've got the confidence of that goal. The longer the game goes on, the nearer they come to that final whistle, and they're working hard, and whatever else, they're making Celtic work for whatever they're going to get.
They always carry the menace of Brewster, McSwegan, Winters and Coyle up front. Oh, lucky break there from Malpas, that almost landed at the feet of Pierre Van Hooijdonk. Malpas, safety first. Well, he's still a sterling performer for Dundee United. 17 years since he joined United. Malpas, there he goes again, another good tackle. That's beyond Hughes for McSwegan. McSwegan certainly has enough pace to take on Hughes. That's for Coyle, across comes O'Neill. The wrestling match is irrelevant because Donnelly had possession. Down goes McNamara, fouled by Brewster. Brewster offers the apology, then takes the word of warning from referee Waddle. Donnelly still continues despite being fouled by Coyle. This is McLaughlin. Now Thom, tackled quickly by Perry. In goes Brewster. McSwegan. Headed by Bowman. Brewster's on his own for the moment because McSwegan appeared to stretch himself there. That's for Winters. It's good play again from Dundee United. Now trying to get players into the box. Back to O'Neill. Well, Malpas inside the area there, putting pressure on. Owen Coyle has dropped to left back, seeing his teammate roll forward. This is McLaughlin. That's for Thom. In goes Welsh. Well, did a good match, the big centre back. Now Jackie McNamara. Thom once again. Van Hooijdonk wants the cross delivered. And by Winters. Grant does well.
Space in the far side. Thom adjudged onside. Corner kick conceded there by Johnson. Well, the Celtic crowd very anxious indeed. Time running out for Celtic. 27 minutes of the second half gone, just about 18 minutes left to play. Still trailing by Owen Coyle's goal for United. McKinlay's corner, a good one, met by Malpas. Well, there's such a number of excellent individual performances by United players. And here's McKinlay again. Hughes battling for that and committing a foul on Mark Perry. Well, it's amazing, Billy, because in the first half Celtic had so much imagination and variety in the play. They created so many chances, but you can't really see where the goal's coming from now.
No, that first half was very, very fluid. The second half, I think, in fairness, United have retreated and they've afforded Celtic the middle of the pitch, but they're not giving them an inch of room up the park further.
So changes being made here by both sides. Gary McSwegan, who appeared to stretch a hamstring a moment or two ago, is going off to be replaced by Andy McLaren. And at the same time, Celtic have brought on Phil O'Donnell to replace Brian O'Neill. Now, O'Donnell's gone into Peter Grant's position in the midfield, with Grant going to centre back beside John Hughes. McLaren has gone to the right wing. Winters is now functioning straight through the middle. No comfort that to Celtic. That's McStay's pass to Donnelly. Now Thom. Tied it up again by Ali Maxwell. Well, now I wonder what difference it might make to have Winters straight through the middle beside Brewster on these counter-attacks, Billy.
Well, that pace of his is tremendous, and I think he will trouble anyone. And you know, I don't think Peter Grant or John Hughes are the paciest of defenders, so anything in over the top is going to be a problem to them.
That's McStay. Pass aimed for McLaughlin. Good tackle there by Andy McLaren. First contribution to the play, replacing Gary McSwegan. And Hooijdonk. Cross it comes to McNamara. Long range effort being attempted there, running straight into Malpas though. Here's McNamara again. Now Thom. McNamara wants it back. That was intended for Van Hooijdonk.
You know, it's a good position to put a ball into the middle for your centre forward to attack, but it's always too near the goalkeeper. And Ali Maxwell has shown us one thing this afternoon, that he's confident and he's going to come for things.
McLaren up against McKinlay. That's Winters. Hughes with a clearing header. Well, Celtic will want Phil O'Donnell to support that front pairing of Van Hooijdonk and Thom. Here he comes. There's O'Donnell. Advancing at pace. Well, the offside flag was up against Andreas Thom. Free kick to United.
O'Donnell breaking from that position will certainly help Celtic, because, you know, United are trying to play that offside game at the back, and they're trying to hold the line, and O'Donnell is certainly good at timing his runs, and he might well get in behind if a good pass is delivered.
So there's quarter of an hour remaining in this Tennent Scottish Cup quarter-final. Dundee United lead by 1-0. Celtic trying everything they know to change that. United looking very composed in defence. Very well organised. Down goes McNamara. The foul was by Coyle. McNamara's not too pleased. Yellow card for Coyle. Eventful match. He scored the only goal of the game.
Owen Coyle's had to work so very hard defensively on that side of the pitch, and I honestly think Billy Kirk was all set to take him off, because I think he felt the legs had done enough and he's got to stay on a bit. And McNamara's so quick and so fit going forward, and obviously with McSwegan going off, I think it's re-altered his thinking.
McSwegan's injury, I think, changed all that. Here's McLaughlin. McLaughlin was caught late by Mark Perry after releasing the ball. Across comes the referee. He's looking towards the linesman for a bit of help, but there's attention being allowed for McLaughlin. Took a thump from Mark Perry just as he passed the ball away. Raising pain all right, McLaughlin. Well, these Celtic supporters, quiet and concerned.
Yeah, Brian McLaughlin there is just a little bit. He's holding the pass as long as he can, and certainly Mark Perry's hit him, and he's hit him in the thigh, which could prove to be very painful.
Well, McLaughlin due to fly off after the match to Hungary with McNamara, Donnelly and Pressley of United to join in the 21 squad. Here's Peter Grant in his new role, central defence. Hughes. Van Hooijdonk's pass picks out McNamara on the run. Donnelly's ahead of him. Queuing up in the middle for Celtic, and a misunderstanding between the two players. Well, you can sense the frustration all around us here in the stadium at Celtic Park. Just a little cluster of Dundee United supporters in the corner who are certainly happy and sensing a dramatic cup win.
Well, certainly that sparkle that Celtic had in the first half and early in the second half has disappeared at the minute, and this is a real battling performance by United. And you know, at the moment you've got to start saying, well, where are the Celtic goals going to come from, because they haven't really created that many chances at all.
Here's Johnson. It's a poor ball, trying to find McLaren. McStay to Grant. Van Hooijdonk. That's O'Donnell. Now McNamara. Good chance for the cross. Superb clearance there by Welsh. On his stronger side, mind you, his left, but he cleared that very effectively indeed.
Well, having just said he hadn't created a chance, that was a magnificent ball in from the wide position, and luckily it fell to Walsh's left foot, and that's his favoured one. It was a great defensive block.
Tosh McKinlay with a corner kick. Goes Welsh again. Well, one of the big attributes he brings to that United defence is his aerial power. This is McLaughlin. Well, United have managed to push Celtic into areas they didn't want to go frequently. And Hooijdonk challenges. Out comes Sally Maxwell again. Misjudging the air with both Winters and Grant. McNamara is covering behind the central defenders. The Marshals had virtually nothing to do in the second half, but in fairness also, Celtic haven't carved out many clear chances in the second half. One great opportunity going Andreas Thom's way, but apart from that, Billy, very few clear chances.
No, and I think that's testimony to the way that United have worked. They've worked so very hard in the game, and defensively they've been very sound.
Well, Van Hooijdonk, it's a free kick to Celtic. 10 minutes left. 1-0 to Dundee United. Thom skipping away from Johnson. He has Donnelly outside him. That's Thom again. Being a shooting position of trying to. Malpas escorting him across the box. It's excellent defending by Malpas. Here's Van Hooijdonk. O'Donnell's return pass. Down goes Van Hooijdonk. Appeals for a penalty. More, I think, in hope than expectation. Celtic complaining bitterly to the referee, but I don't really think they believe in this too much.
It's a super 1-2. I'm not sure they weren't unfortunate not to have got a penalty there, because it seemed to me that Van Hooijdonk had the legs taken away from him.
Well, yes, on that angle, it may well have been a foul on Van Hooijdonk, so United riding their luck. There's Grant, now Thom. Forward comes Hughes. Cross with McNamara. This is Donnelly. McStay. O'Donnell. Stay again. Focal point of these developing attacks for Celtic. The run is made by O'Donnell, and he's matched all the way by Dave Bowman. Corner kick is given. Bowman's not at all happy about that. Linesman, Will Lindsay gave that. So they're queued up in this penalty box here. With 3 players not involved around that box. Winters with Grant and McNamara. Retrieved here by Thom. This is McLaughlin. Good build up there, and Maxwell comes to claim. Cut the spin well as the ball bounced. McLaughlin trying some inventive play again around the penalty box to break down this United defence.
It's a good strike by McLaughlin, but once again, look how alert and sharp Ali Maxwell is. He certainly enjoyed his afternoon.
Good goalkeeping once again by Maxwell. There's McLaren. Winters is offside. Just as well, I think, for Celtic. Free kick taken quickly. McStay very deep again, trying to create for Celtic. So United contemplating a change. There's activity in the bench below us. Here's John Hughes. Hughes again, stepping away from Coyle. Well, Paul McStay not at all pleased with his teammates, gesticulating to them. Not enough movement. Presley's clearance straight back to McStay. In goes Bowman. That's great play by Dave Bowman. He was impeded there by Hughes, who will be yellow carded for that. But Bowman's determination in the first challenge with McStay, and in the second, typical of his commitment.
Well, as it's typical of Bowman, isn't it? He's so competitive, but certainly John Hughes doesn't draw back either, and really that's basically what it was, that Bowman was just that little bit sharper to the ball.
Malpas now with the free kick. Brewster in a tangle there with Hughes. Brewster's penalised. And now space here for Celtic to utilise in the break. McStay crossing the bows of Johnson. Couldn't find Donnelly with a pass though. Pass, squeezing the ball up the line and winning a throw. So approaching the final 5 minutes of the match. Here's Mark Perry with McLaren free in the right. Shown inside by McKinlay. Determined though to go outside. Back here with Perry. Bowman. Brewster and Perry combined to win possession. And stumped away there for a throw to Celtic. Craig Brewster feeling the effects of his efforts this afternoon. Can Celtic save this tie? Can they find a goal to stay in the cup? Or will Dundee United hold out? 1-0 remember to United. Owen Coyle in 29 minutes. Up goes Van Hooijdonk. He's made little impression in these proceedings today, Van Hooijdonk. McLaren playing that towards the corner flag. Winters gives chase. Grant treats that challenge with respect. Well, Celtic wondering what they have to do to save this match. A careless ball by Hughes to McNamara. It's a throw to Dundee United, who will make a substitution inevitably to waste some more time. Craig Brewster is being withdrawn. the man who was fouled for the penalty kick, which Owen Coyle took and was saved by Marshall, the rebound going in. Ray McKinnon is coming on, so he'll go into the midfield to shore that area up, I think. So McKinnon for Brewster, and a few more precious seconds passing there as that manoeuvre took place. A little over 3 minutes left, very little stoppage time. It could be Celtic are going out of the Tennent Scottish Cup to a first division side. Now that really is remarkable. It's hard to think of United in that context, but it's effectively what they are, although this performance this afternoon belies that status. Here's Malpas. Back it comes to Perry. United enjoying this spell in the Celtic half. McLaughlin doesn't like to do that too often. He's given it straight to Grant Johnson. Here's Perry. And then running straight into Grant. 2.5 minutes left. 1-0 to United. Celtic now trying to get the ball forward quickly. Grant going for the long ball to Van Hooijdonk. This is McNamara. Donnelly takes over. Hustled there by Coyle. Here's McNamara again. Fouled by Malpas. It's a free kick to Celtic. Everyone going forward now with any kind of height for Celtic. John Hughes loafing into the penalty box. Celtic trying desperately to save this match. Let in by McNamara. Up goes Van Hooijdonk for Celtic. 90 seconds from the end. Dundee United are devastated. It was a majestic header this by Van Hooijdonk. Getting above the defence, and this time Maxwell could do nothing.
No, it's a ball right into the heart of that defence, and Hooijdonk, he times his jump brilliantly and meets the ball solidly and gets the goal that's so vital to Celtic. It's so important. It's astonishing. He's never looked this goal all afternoon. Give him that one chance and the ball's in the net.
Well, Dundee United now holding something of an inquest around that defensive area, but really Van Hooijdonk, who had made virtually no contribution to the play, gets his 24th goal of the season, and Celtic's cup hopes are alive again. And listen to the difference now in the stadium. The noise is deafening, and Celtic will now almost certainly travel to Tannadice for a replay with gratitude and relief. There's Pressley with the clearance. Well, the scoot was there for Van Hooijdonk, never in the match, and the man who has saved the day, it would appear, for Celtic. And Matt, this may be the winner. Here's Thom. He's done it! 90 minutes are up. Thom has won the match for Celtic. It's the most remarkable turnaround. And Dundee United again disconsolate. The pace of Thom was lethal here. Welsh couldn't get to him. Maxwell got a touch, but couldn't keep it out.
You know, Owen Coyle's just a little bit careless, tries to pass across the face of his defence. And look at Thom's got the pace to go in there, keep his composure and finish so brilliantly. And what a rescue act this has been for Celtic. But what a tremendous finish by Thom.
Well, a clear reminder as Thom gets his 10th goal of the season that Celtic are never beaten until the final whistle. They've come back in amazing fashion. Just when it appeared as though they lost all their momentum, lost their way completely, they produced two terrific goals. Tommy Burns looking on there, Billy Kirkwood, I'm sure, shell-shocked there on the left. And the bedlam around Celtic Park as Celtic have come back from the dead to make the semi-final of the Tennent Scottish Cup. There's the final whistle. What an incredible cup tie. Andreas Thom has won it in the end for Celtic. A smile on the face of Paul McStay. What a difference 2 minutes can make. Tommy Bonds looking solemn and relieved. Well, these Celtic players in a cluster, and I'm sure the relief is incredible. Well, what a difference that's made. Just 2 or 3 minutes ago, dejection all around, and now suddenly Celtic have won the day. Pierre van Hooijdonk with a majestic header getting them back in level terms, and Andreas Thom scoring the winner despite the heroics of Ali Maxwell, especially in that first half. It was a great first half performance from him, but it wasn't enough in the end. He could do nothing about these goals till the end of the match. Tommy Bonds still on the track, congratulating Ali Maxwell, and that's deserved all right, and also Craig Brewster. Gordon Marshall hugged there by his manager as he is making his way up the tunnel, and Celtic still have double hopes alive, and you have the feeling if they can escape in this fashion, their name may well be on the Scottish Cup.
Well, you know, Celtic never give up, and really it's another indication that football matches are never finished until that referee's finished. And you know, two tremendous strikes. I've got to say that perhaps the Dundee United were just a little bit careless in defence latterly, and they got caught out.
So, Rob McLean with Andreas Thom.
That was Andy, that was some finish to the match.
Yeah, it was very difficult today. We knew before that it will be a very difficult game when they scored the first goal, and it was a little bit unlucky. But the last 10 minutes we had, or in the second half as well, good chances, and very good for us that we scored.
Okay.
In the last 5 minutes, 2 goals.
And Pierre, chipping in with a late goal, it was a difficult match for you because you were well marked throughout, but you're a dangerous man, as we know.
Yeah, I think Dundee United played very well, and we played also very good the first half, and then in the second half, and it took us too much time to score the equaliser, and everybody started to get nervous a little bit, and yeah, the second half wasn't so good, but we finished it well.
You must have wondered where a chance was going to come from.
Yeah, but it came, so it was alright.
And Andy, what were you thinking as you were running in on goal there with the chance to take Celtic to the semi-finals?
Yeah, I thought only make a goal.
Here's a chance to look at it, in fact.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
It's not so quick.
I thought only make a goal, and I knew then we are in the next round, and good finish and good for us. Very good.
You struck it well. It's your first season with Celtic. Obviously, you're really looking forward to getting to the cup final, hopefully.
Yeah, I won the cup final in Germany in '93 with Leverkusen. It is a great feeling when you're in the cup final. The players knew it last year. It is great, and now we are in the semi-final, and we're looking forward.
Okay, well done to the two of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.